Hello, I'm FPX Toycat, and welcome back to the Minecraft update news videos. The best type of update news to share with you all because we have a brand new beta or snapshot version of the Nether update available to download right now for the Java edition. And if you do download the snapshot, you'll find that found within there is actually a brand new Minecraft structure, the Bastian remnants, also known as the Piglin Bastion. A lot of people are jumping the gun and saying, yeah, this is definitely the best structure we have seen in Minecraft. It might be that, but what I can definitely say for sure that isn't a little premature is that this is one of the most interesting and one of the most varied structures we've definitely seen. I mean, this is just one of the variants, and you can see how it's got like lava pouring out for the eyes. It's got this snout that some piglins can live inside of, and then it's also got a giant mouth, all of which you can explore, and all of which can contain chests with some really good loot you definitely want to find. But as well as that, we can also now find unlit portals, not only around the Nether. This is a feature I've suggested, as well as many other YouTubers, but as well as finding unlit portals around the Nether, it also does contain unlit portals in the overworld, as well as a fan favorite, the chain item. People have been asking for that forever, specifically for lanterns, and here it is. And then on top of all of these things, because even though I can't say this structure will be the best, it might be, but we'll have to wait and see. Something I can say right now and not feel like I'm saying prematurely is that the brand new music disc, only found in the Piglin Bastions, called Pig Step by Lena Rain, is definitely Minecraft's best music, and let me just prove to you why with a few seconds. I mean, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but that was beautiful, was it not? So let's talk about the Piglin Bastion, because of course finding Pig Step is the #1 thing about this structure, but also these structures can be great as a way to find piglins, which is nice by itself. You can in fact trade with them even when you find them here, but as well as being a way to find piglins, it's also a great way to find gold, which is nice. Gold can spawn in pretty large quantities around here, also around unlit portals, but we'll get to that in a second. It can spawn in large quantities, it can spawn in small quantities. Look at this single gold block hiding over here. For instance, you can find gold all over these structures, as well as finding chests all over them, because again, here is an entirely different bastion in a different biome, in a different siege. You can see how so much has changed. It's almost like an entirely different structure. It's got a few kind of prefab parts, but everything else seems to be entirely separate. But if you look around this thing, you'll find how not only are you going to get a lot of basalt blocks, which is nice, a lot of blackstone, which is great, a lot of even the gilded blackstone, which is even better than that, but you'll also find chests if you look around here for long enough. So just over here, for instance, this is actually kind of a confusing one to look around. Just over here, you can see there's a chest, and in that chest, you can find spectral arrows. Again, this is a Java feature. On the bedrock, you won't expect to see those just yet, because they're not a feature of there. You can expect to see gilded blackstone, some bone blocks, some iron nuggets, which are more useful after this update, but we'll explain why in a second. But yeah, as well as finding gold, and as well as finding chests, which contain a few random bits of things, the reason you'll really want to come here is because sometimes you can find chests, and even double chests, which contain enchanted books as well, which contain Pig Step, but even better than both of these things. Okay, here's another chest. This is going to prove me right. In this chest, there is some obsidian. Okay, but in the fourth chest we find, because there are a lot of chests around these places, by the way, you're going to see how like, oh yeah, what's that? We got some enchanted gold boots, but we go better than enchanted gold sometimes, because we can also find, I hope, okay, no, this is a bad luck Piglin Bastion, it seems. The cool thing about bastions, though, is you will find a lot of them in your world, and they will be very different to each other. Unlike most other Minecraft structures, I mean, every Nether fortress you find in the world, it's going to look the same, right? I mean, it might be in a different biome now after 1.16, sure, but it's the same structure with the same pieces, and it feels the same every time. Some structures like the Jungle Temple are even worse, because they're literally the same every time. The Piglin Bastion is not. The Bastion remnants, every time you find them, it's different loot, it's a different structure, it's a different thing to explore, which is great, because even working out how to explore them is a tricky thing to do sometimes. Even flying around here in creative, you can see the kind of loss. But yeah, the reason I'm trying to show you around these places is because sometimes in the chests, and let me stress the word sometimes here, clearly, okay, no, a 9th chest with not a single thing I'm trying to prove here. Sometimes you'll find netherite scraps and even netherite tools themselves, which is interesting because every other Minecraft structure maxes out at diamonds, but because this was added in the same update as netherite, you can find netherite scraps and you can find damaged netherite tools, you know, tools that were used by the piglins already. And this is interesting for a couple of reasons. One, because by the way, look at this chest. The only way to get to it is to like bridge across the lava or to dig through the thing itself. Again, it's fascinating how much effort you have to go into to find all of the things that are found around here, all of the gold, all of the blackstone, etc. it's nice. I feel like that makes this structure even more interesting because you know what? It's kind of, again, a miniature little version of a cave update because sure, you know, there's a bit of a structure to it, but once you go beyond that structure, you have to start looking in caves if you want to find things, and that's kind of cool. So yeah, it's a structure with caves in it, which is why I love it partially, but the fact that it spawns with netherite is something that is really interesting on its own little level for a few reasons. One is the fact that we've never had an ability to find netherite naturally, and I don't know if necessarily we should. Like, sure, they're damaged tools, it's not going to be the primary way you find them, but I feel like netherite, unlike diamond, should be preserved exclusively for people who can mine and can get the tools together that way, or who have someone in their world who can. You know, that's also a valid option. Diamond tools are tradable with villagers, sure. Diamond tools are found in end cities, sure. Diamond tools are found in more and more ways, you know, naturally generated. That's a thing that's fine, but I feel like netherite, or especially enchanted netherite, shouldn't be available in these structures. And just to show you another one, by the way, here is a third piglin bastion. You can see the similarities of the first one. Got that nice face on the front, but the you know, the way it generates in the world as a whole is very different, and it's got bits that are remnant of a nether fortress almost. Again, look how much when it spawns over a pit of lava, it has more room to generate, which means there's more room to generate these little staircasey things with their caves, which can of course contain more chests with more loot. There is a reason to find these things, but they're not the only thing that there's a reason to find in Minecraft, because in this update you can also find these. And no, I didn't set this up. You legitimately can find them next to the piglin bastions. It's a rare and lucky thing, but you can find unlit nether portals in the Minecraft world naturally. The official in-game name for these is a ruined portal, and yeah, they generate with some number of the pieces of obsidian that you need. In this case, you need just 2 bits more of obsidian. Although in reality, because they spawn with crying obsidian, these crying obsidian cannot be used for the main portal itself yet. Maybe that'll change. So in reality, you need to find 4 more bits of obsidian, and then you can complete a portal and go back home. And the reason to use these is not just because it's cheaper than making another nether portal. I mean, that's a big benefit too, but also look at the blocks they're surrounded with. They kind of come pre-designed for you in a really nice, really cool way, in my opinion. Also, in this case, we get a free gold block that you really shouldn't leave here. It doesn't even look that good, but you get some free gold sometimes, and you also get, every single time you find these, overworld or the nether, you should find a chest which can contain obsidian, can contain enchanted armor, in this case, cursed armor, and can contain enchanted gold stuff, which will be really handy because think about this. There's a piglin bastion just over there, but you can't go into the piglin bastion without gold armor if you don't want to be attacked. Again, you can go in, but it will hurt you dearly. So if you can find gold armor from one of these chests, now all of a sudden you can go in and you're only threatened by skeletons, which rarely spawn here. And yeah, otherwise you're pretty darn safe. So yeah, that is my little piece of advice right here. Unlit portals are a great way to find gold, which is surprisingly more valuable right now after this update. Also, in case you're curious, do the portals take you somewhere special? No, they're just random. They'll take you to wherever it should take you on the other end, based on how Minecraft works. There's nothing special about this extreme hill biome. No offense, Minecraft's extreme hill biome. It's not very extreme though, is it? Especially on Bedrock. But different complaint for a different day. But like I said, ruined portals generate not just in the nether, but in the overworld as well. Sometimes they generate below water. I kind of like this. It's a callback to the aquatic update. It's a cool thing you can find below the water that has, again, gold once again, as well as these chests, which can contain some of the obsidian, very rarely all of it, to fix up the portal. So that's kind of wonderful. But you'll also find them mostly above ground sometimes. In this case, you can see how it's partially gone below the ground, which is something, I don't know if that's intentional or not, but you can see how we've got a portal that generates filled with sand, which is a fun little detail. This time, the kind of downside is you can see the bottom blocks aren't filled, so it's easy enough to do. Also, if there's a chest around here, it's going to be hard to find. Aha, there is in fact a chest found around here, and that chest can contain the same obsidian, as well as a flint and steel, super handy things for getting in or out of the nether, as well as a bunch of slabs and netherrack as well. Kind of weird. Or you can find them below the ground in some way. Not always will they be uncovered like this. Sometimes it will just be its own little cave structure that you can dig into, which I think is great. New underground update hidden within the cave, the Nether update. But you can see how wonderfully there is also a way to find these in all sorts of places. And I think that actually is a really, really, really nice improvement. It doesn't make going to the Nether perfectly easy because on average, you still probably need to find 2 of these to get the right number of obsidian to make a fully complete one, so you need a bucket or you need to find multiple of these anyway. But getting to the Nether is theoretically easier now, and if you find the perfect chest, again, it's possible you find a chest with 2 obsidian, it's possible you find the crying obsidian, both in corners, and you will be able to, in some seeds where you get the perfect loot, be able to go straight into the Nether beyond anything else, because this has fire charges and 2 obsidian. We're 1 obsidian away after this chest and this portal from going to the Nether after spawning with no other ingredients required. So they made the Nether a little bit easier to access, as well as, in my opinion, the more important bit, a little bit easier to escape, because again, just to show you the reverse isn't true. Going into these portals, there's nothing special about them, like, oh, it's actually 3 obsidian. It's wider than I figured. But, yeah, so you need 2 obsidian for this. But, basically, if you actually go in, you can see how, like, it doesn't take you anywhere special. In this case, it takes us to somewhere the opposite of special, just inside of a cave, but also next to a delta. They're called the basalt delta, right? The brand new Minecraft biome, which has been updated in this particular snapshot. And the way it's been updated is to make it a little bit more risky. So it has magma cubes as its primary thing, and that was kind of fun as a threat for the biome. But also to make it feel more volcano-y, it's got a bunch of lava found within it. Lava and magma. It already had magma, but it's got lava to surround the magma now. So now there is a real threat to this biome, and now lava is not just found at the very bottom of these biomes, but it's found above them as well. So yeah, you can find a lot of basalt, you can find a lot of blackstone here, ingredients that everyone wants. It is just universally agreed that blackstone is an amazing Nether building tool, and basalt is like pretty good. A lot of people like it. If you want to find basalt in huge quantities, you can mine it here, but unlike mining in the overworld, there is a real risk to you for doing so, and I love that. Again, stealth cave update, hidden within the Nether update, loving it a lot, so far at least. And yeah, this is the basalt delta change. There's also, quite interestingly to me at least, a brand new Minecraft item called the chain. So the chain, if we're being entirely honest, is existing for 1 Minecraft item specifically. It's for the lantern right here, because if you want to craft the chain, it is crafted just like so. You use 1 iron ingot surrounded on both sides by iron nuggets. Handy that you can find a bunch of those now in Minecraft, right? And then you can craft yourself a chain. And the chain, again, you could use it for a few things. It kind of is like a single iron bar. You can see there's similarities to it right here. But realistically speaking, even putting the lantern on top of the chain does make sense. Chains exist 99% so that you can have a block to place your lanterns, and your soulfire lanterns indeed, underneath. As you can see, even just putting it on a tree, it looks really cool when you do that. They combine together perfectly. I think the lantern having the chain on top of it might even be a bit excessive after this. Like, now we have a chain block. The chain block should create that effect to come out of the lantern. That was a big mistake. But I feel like, am I doing this correctly? I feel like I'm not. But yeah, I feel like personally having the chain come out the bottom of the lantern. Sure, it was a cool thing, you know, when it was just for the lantern. But now that we have chains, it should be like a part of that instead. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird looking at it and being like, the top of this lantern. It seems like it's begging for a chain on top, which, you know, obviously doesn't even work when you do it that way. So yeah, I feel like the top of this texture shouldn't be a chain anymore. That should be reserved so that for specifically when you do it underneath something, because yeah, the chain exists exclusively for the lantern as best I can tell. Obviously some people will find other uses for it, but the biggest use so far is that it's like an iron bar, but it looks more like a chain. People ask immediately like, aha, you can craft chain armor now, right? Like, oh yeah, let's go do precisely that. But obviously, you can't. Here are some chain boots that I can't craft. Here are some chain leggings that I can't craft. And get this, here's a chain chest plate that I'm also not crafting. So, yeah, the other interesting thing I just want to mention right here is that I feel like chains are slightly too expensive a recipe to make sense in Minecraft. Like, you know, this doesn't actually matter in terms of gameplay. Like, if you need chains, you'll craft them. It's not going to change anyone's game. But as far as, like, making Minecraft make sense, an iron bar, which as you can see, should be more iron because unlike the chain, it's solid all the way through and can be a lot more ingredients per block than the chain. The iron bar is crafted using 6 iron nuggets to make 16 iron bars. So effectively they cost, you know, about 2-point-something blocks each, 2.66, or effectively you get 2.66 iron bars per iron nugget, whereas the exact opposite is true for the iron, for the chain, which is made of iron, where you need to have not only 1 full nugget, but also 2 ninths of a nugget as well. So these are 1.2 or 1.22, I think it would be, iron ingots per chain, whereas you get 2.6, you know, iron bars to the iron nugget otherwise. I just feel like it's an iron ingot otherwise. I feel like it's an unfair little thing that maybe should be fixed, just for logical reasons. In the same way stairs are a little bit ridiculous when you're not using a stone cutter. Even the swaggy stairs. But yeah, in the same way that like, you know, recipes need to make sense so that like, you're actually getting a fair amount of stuff what you craft. I think that when you do this, because it's a fun recipe, I totally get it. Either it should be 3 iron, you know, nuggets in a row, just like this, and you should get 1. Or if you want to keep the same recipe, give people 2 or 3 or 4 chains, maybe even 6 chains. But that's excessive. Like, give people a few chains per iron nugget chain thing or whatever they make. I think that would be a more fair solution personally, especially because most people won't want one chain. One chain isn't going to really help you out a lot. Like, sure, you can make something slightly better with one chain, but most people are going to be using a lot more than one chain in Minecraft. So give them more than one, save them some iron, and keep the game making sense. That's my sales pitch. But yeah, in other small little bits, you can now find piglin banners naturally in the world, supposedly in piglin bastions. And also the structure block has had its max size increased to 48, so 1.5 in every direction. You can now copy double as much of a structure block, basically, if you use all 3 dimensions. That's kind of nice. And yeah, I just want to kind of say that the piglin bastion is a really wonderful, really cool structure in Minecraft, right? I mean, there's so much going on with this thing, and that's why I'm going to be showing you just me exploring some of the nooks and crannies of this. And while I do that, I'm gonna play Minecraft's best song. It's Pig Step. It's by Lena Raine, and to me, you know, like the last songs were good, but you know, you could argue they weren't Minecrafty. Although this one isn't necessarily the perfect Minecrafty thing, it fits into the music disc player as like a great new song, and also it's a wonderful example of how you know, music discs actually can be different. And also it shows that Lena Raine is doing a really good job at new music for Minecraft. Not because C418 is you know, being fired by Mojang or anything. It's just that he's literally unable to right now. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, if you want to break lanterns easier, you can do so by breaking their chains. But yeah, I'll show you around some piglin bastions, and I'll play some Pig Step to you, and then I'll get back to you for the outro. So thank you so much for watching this particular snapshot video. I am very excited about this update now. I love naturally generating features, as I've said many times before. I think Minecraft needs exploration, and the fact that now you can explore the Nether looking for these things, and also you can find a way home without having to bring all the obsidian for a new portal with you, that is really, really nice in my opinion. You can take multiple portals, combine them together, and now you can get home no matter where you are on the Nether. This encourages you to explore not only the Nether more, but because Nether portals get you out, it'll explore more of your overworld as well, in a way that I think is just a really great thing to encourage. So yeah, there is a lot going in this update. I am super excited to see it all. I hope all of you are as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.